Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the West Fargo Sports Arena for today's girls hockey matchup between the Williston Coyotes and the West Fargo United. I'm Tristan Murdoch. Joined alongside me is Dustin Salmon. Salmon, today should be a good one. We got a mid-range matchup, middle of the pack in the standings between the Coyotes and the United today. So we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, a lot of the teams pretty close to each other, though, so whoever wins this game, I don't know exactly how high they would jump in the standings, but I would assume that would go a long way to getting back into the top five. Should be really interesting. Williston coming to town. They played yesterday against
North-South
Bruins, right? Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how this goes. Our first time indoors since the Winter Classic.
Yep. So, like you talked about already, Williston's last game was a 6-1 loss last night up at the Coliseum against North-South Bruins. West Fargo United actually played last night, too, with a 2-0 loss right here against Mandan, which kind of in turn led to the standings movement as we see Mandan jump up to second, right behind North-South, and then Legacy Bismarck, followed by Grand Forks, Bismarck Century, Minot. Then it goes West Fargo and Williston, like we talked about, middle of the range pack, or mid-range standings right now for these two. And then it's followed by Dickinson, Davies, Jamestown, and Devils Lake. So one thing you kind of notice in that one right off the bat is the Davies Eagles, they've been a powerhouse team in girls hockey for the past countless years almost, it seems like. But they did lose a lot of seniors last year, and they're just not living up to, maybe the standards that they were set with this year.
Yeah, it's always hard when you lose a lot of players. We see that with a couple other sports this year in West Fargo. It's a tough thing to replace. You only have someone for, at most, about 3-4 years, and then you got to hope that the ones – and sometimes that just can be youth, too. They might need a year to gel and figure their things out and then go on another run for a couple of years.
Most definitely. As we take a look at the Coyotes coming into this one, one dangerous player to look out for is number 2, Lexi Corona. Dangerous sniper from the point, most definitely, as she's getting matched up with Addison Holcomb today with a 2.2 goals against average and a save percentage of .915. Talking to Emlyn Lindquist a little bit before the broadcast, she said that did jump down a lot because of last night. I heard last night they only got 15 shots and definitely were struggling the way it sounds. So we'll see how that kind of transpires into today.
Mm-hmm.
If they come out with a little more fire, obviously Williston's going to, after a 6-1 loss, you'd most definitely think they want some to come out with something on the Eastern road trip. So,
yeah, I think if you're traveling all the way here from Williston, you don't want to put up 2 tough performances, right? So you're going to want to rebound. You're going to want to make it worth the trip. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they came out firing today.
Most definitely. So we'll get to National Anthem, take a short break, and we'll be right back.
What would you do with a second chance? At Essentia Health, we understand the significance of second chances. Our heart specialists see them every day. That's why regular checkups and heart screenings are vital, even if you feel fine, and especially when you have a family history. Essentia Health is the right place for early detection, advanced treatments, comprehensive cardiac rehab, for second chances. At Essentia Health, we work hard to keep your heart strong.
Tour the beautiful campus of North Dakota State University in Fargo. Learn about majors, scholarships, our free application process, and get a free t-shirt. Register now at ndsu.edu/.
One thing that I've always enjoyed about being a physician is just the patient and physician relationship.
Part of why I trusted him is because I felt more than just a patient.
We figured out the best situation for my injury, and we chose the one that would best fit me. I'm a huge sports fan, have been my whole life and still am today. I have a strong desire to help people maintain their activity levels and to get back to doing the things that they are passionate about.
All right, welcome back, folks, as we are about set for game time here between the United and the Coyotes. As, like we talked about before the commercial break, a little bit of, the middle of the pack standings wise, United sitting at, I believe, 7th if I'm counting right, and then Williston's right behind them at the 8th spot.
Well, and not only trying to jump in the standings, of course, but United, they've lost a few in a row now, and we announced the Winter Classic game. We were also obviously streaming the game before against Bismarck, and we both, I feel like, felt like they played a lot better at the outdoor game, a lot more shots. They seemed more aggressive, and so I'd like to see a repeat of that. While the game outdoors didn't go the way they wanted to, obviously, I think if they can repeat their performance and how they played at the Winter Classic outdoors, I don't see why they can't walk away from a win, and really that's what they need right now. They need that confidence boost by getting a win now that we're really getting into the heart of the season, and time to start making that push.
So Emerson Didi's going to go up against Corona to start us off, and we are underway here at the West Fargo Sports Arena. Zodlin will take it behind her own net. That one stopped at the point. Trying to get down to Ekblad, intercepted there by Matthias, as Odlin intercepts this shot attempt and rims it back down and around here. Williamson intercepts, Didi intercepted the shot attempt, and Ekblad just can't squeeze through.
Great job up front there by Williston to hang on to the puck and cause a turnover, just couldn't quite finish.
As Didi will take the mishandle off of Matthias, and Didi will dump this in, and they'll say no icing off of a tip. As one thing we definitely don't want to get into is those dangerous changes like we've talked about plenty of times in the past.
Absolutely, a lot of that in the last game, a lot of dangerous changes that we just can't have.
Aldinger holds his own twice there, can't keep up in the end. As this one squeaks out to a Williston defender. I believe that was Stundahl sending that one in.
I gotta say, it's nice being indoors. I'm almost too warm. I don't know what this feeling is. We were so chilly before. We've planned for everything for that Winter Classic except for a space heater.
Lee with a board battle against 2 United as Hassler comes out and dumps one in, intercepted in the backfield there, I believe by Pocus. As Pocus gets run in by Trosen. And we'll see what we can do here.
Both teams kind of just feeling like they're looking like they're feeling each other out. Kind of just getting their feet underneath them. No one really making a move quite yet.
No shots so far, as this one is going to go all the way down for Fuchs to play.
Risky clear by the goaltender there.
This one gets all the way up to Tersoro. Excuse me. This one squeaks out to the point, a shot just wide.
Ripper of a shot, just a little wide.
This one's down behind the United net in the corner now. As Nedgerbo fighting down low there.
Ooh, I wonder if she does not look like she's feeling so great there from Williston. Need a second to collect her thoughts there after that hit.
Didi comes out with this one. Tries to find Rude. Rude can't really handle in a sense, and this one gets all the way over to Noss for Williston, intercepted there by Bentz. And Williston will come up that short side. Sam, and one other thing I'm kind of noticing too right now is it's a lot easier to see from the middle of the ice than up here.
I will say that our view was pretty spectacular up there on the 5th floor.
Yeah.
That was really nice. It was in some ways like a video game, right? We had that like zoomed out kind of top center ice view from a little bit of an angle. Yeah, that was If we can
replicate that, but with the temperature we have in this room, that'd be about perfect.
Spanier will take this one now, finds Stalker. Stalker chips up to Hassler. Hassler can't quite catch the ice.
Just a little too strong when she tried to redirect that to get ahead of herself for her to be able to chase it down in time. Kind of a nice soft pass from Stalker there, but it didn't look like that was expected, so she kind of just played it a little bit stronger than I think she wanted to.
Trosen just can't hang on with the tie up there. It's Odlin crams into the boards here as we get another board battle in the corner. As this one just gets poked out all the way up to Vetter, and Vetter tried to find Nedgerbo there on the run and just a little bit behind her, it seemed like. This one gets all the way back to Aldinger. Aldinger finds her D-man with her Odlin, and that one will be sent all the way down for yet another icing.
Yeah, a couple icings here. It just seems like just off a little bit. Passes not landing the way they should. Either being a little too far out front, a little too far behind. Both teams not really controlling the puck as strongly as they probably would like. And we can do a few icing calls.
Didi defeats Corona on the face-off as Matthias tried to come out with it there. This one kicks all the way over to Spanier. And she will try and set something up here as Spanier.
Ooh, a little contact there.
Almost a little bit of a suicide pass there to Rude, and Holcomb just squeezes the pad in time and it'll go under her, so we'll get a face-off to the left.
Reminded me of a QB passing it across the middle a little too far, so the receiver's got to reach out for it, and that safety comes over and catches him in the ribcage.
As Didi will take the loose puck now and find Spanier in the backfield there, as this one is once more kept in by the Coyotes. So we got a little board battle going on in the corner between Lee and Spanier. Spanier tried to find Didi there, gets to the point from Nas. Almost trickled back in.
She is not happy with herself there, Holcomb.
This one finds Nas once more, gets to her point man. Shot just off the pipe.
Oh boy. Holcomb's got to be careful not to let that affect her for the next few shots, just because she didn't love that. Don't let it get in her head and then make her miss the next couple.
Matthias gets one down and in now, as this one's tried for a redirect. Hassler goes in with the Williston player there, excuse me.
Both teams setting up their breakout. It looks like their plan is solid, but they're just not able to make that second pass to get out of the zone. Nobody really landing with those passes, and it just kind of gets jumbled up in the middle of the zone.
Stalker finds Benz. Benz tried to go back to her and just intercepted by the couple of Coyotes there. This one's a shot and blocked in traffic. So I believe that's Trosen on the rush now. And the Coyotes intercept the pass attempt from Odlin. It gets back to Trosen though. Trosen dumps in, and that will be an icing call.
Yeah, the passes aren't landing. From what I'm seeing, both teams are their awareness, their eye contact, things like that is solid. The puck just isn't quite going where they're planning on it going, so they're missing these passes, and it's just making it really hard for both teams to get out of the zone.
Corona ties up Trosen on the draw. Vetter tries to get one out. This one squeaks out to Heller. Heller tried to keep in, just can't off the deflection. As Aldinger will find Spanier. Spanier tried to go back to her. Kind of just rammed into the boards there by Ekblad.
Tough bounce on that pass to go right in front of United's own net.
as Aldinger tries to go on the rush, can't get there, and Trosten will catch her own feet there. This will once more get to center ice, and the Coyotes on a rush. No call as Corona tries to find Noss in the backfield there. Noss just not quite in the zone yet. This one hops up and over a couple of girls there.
Ooh, I wonder if the puck got under her skate blade.
Williamson kind of got caught up in with the puck in her feet. This one's dumped down and in once more by United, and Williston seems to really be getting the upper hand here as they come in on a rush once more. She gets by Williamson. I believe that's held. She tries to take a shot, whiffs. And Stalker will get that one stripped from her by Stundahl, and she'll dump in. Held tried to get one on net, just can't connect there. And Dede gets to Hassler eventually, and Hassler comes in on a rush with a shot and a glove stop there by Emily Fuchs.
By no means was that a high opportunity shot there, but I do think it's important that United got on the board. We saw this with Bismarck,
Legacy Bismarck.
Legacy a couple weeks ago. Just the lack of shots. And so I think anything right now to kind of throw a little bit of momentum in their favor is going to help them out.
This one just squeaks by Vetter there on the right wing, as Bentz will try and recover for her in the backfield there. Just can as Nedgerbo finds it. And the Coyotes come out on top. This one squeaks right out to Bentz, and Bentz lost the blade there.
Looks like the replay though looks just fine.
This one squeaks back in, trying to get in was Tesoro. And this one is dumped in once more by Heller as this finds Tesoro. And she can't catch up to it, so Nedgerbo will take it now and dump in.
Yeah, once again, a couple breakouts stymied by that second pass. The setup's there. Just once they get to that second level, it's like there's a little bit of indecision on how to proceed.
Just a little chip in, gets him a couple of shots there. As this one will find Tesoro, and she'll come in on the rush. Tesoro intended for Harris. She can't keep up as this will squeak out for Holcomb to cover. So we'll get a face-off to the right of Addison Holcomb here. No score so far, only 2 shots on goal apiece. About midway through the first period here, so
whichever team can figure out how to get that second play under control, I think they're going to take over this game early.
Noss tried to get a shot on the net there, goes just wide as Hassler dumps out. Noss dumps one down to Gratz. And Gratz tries to find, I believe, Stundahl there, and that one just misfired as United dumps in, and that will be an icing called.
Oh, this is on the other side. I couldn't quite
tell if that was tipped or not, really.
Yeah.
As we'll get a face-off to the right of Holcomb here. Once more, 6:35 left to go. 2 shots apiece. Trosten wins the draw, gets the Vetter. Vetter's in a rush. Coyote beats her to it, and this one will be kind of a sloppy board battle there on the right side. Or on the far side, excuse me. As this one finds Trosten now. Trosten rushes the zone. Going on that far side boards as this one's picked up by Williamson. Williamson gets a shot on net. It's rebound and she scores.
Great job to follow up that first shot, not to just accept that the goalie had saved it and put in her own rebound. Really good job there.
I believe that's Liana Williamson picking it up.
Yeah, I don't think she expected to see that rebound. I think she expected the goaltender to close on. Go ahead.
Excuse me, Stella Gimberly will pick up the goal there for United. Gimberly hasn't really played much, I believe, when we commentated, so I was kind of wondering there.
Sure.
As
Good for her.
Huber, Williamson, and Trosen.
Good for her to follow that up. A little bit of tenaciousness, that's what they needed. Someone to be a little bit more assertive with their play, and look at what happens when they do. They get a goal.
As Rude finds Matthias. Now Matthias in on a rush shot and stopped by Fuchs there. This one will squeak out to, I believe, Rude.
Great puck handling by Rude there. Really buying herself an opportunity to get a shot where there really wasn't one.
And Stalker takes a shot. Kicked aside there by Fuchs, and this one will go behind the net. Hassler to Stalker out front, collects another one.
Holy top right corner. Absolute beauty. To not only catch the pass, but barely keep it on her blade. Just enough for her to angle it for that top corner and then be able to capitalize on that opportunity. It's fantastic. Yeah, you can see that first goal. You got
Freebird playing. We're getting a little bit of USA World Juniors goal horn now.
You could see it though after that first goal. All of a sudden, it was kind of like they woke up a little bit. And if they can keep up that momentum, they could really cause a lot of problems for Williston here in the first.
Nas takes a shot on Holcomb, kicked aside there. As another shot goes just wide there, and Williamson will pick up and try and go on the rush here, and just can't really collect. As Vetter tips this one out, and thought that might have been an offside call there for a second. As Ekblad gets that one taken away by Trosen. Trosen looking for someone on the opposite side and just can't get to anyone. As there's no offside there. And Spanier finds Josephson. Josephson finds Rude. Rude with the shot. Matthias with the rebound just wide.
And that was wonderful. That's exactly what I was talking about from earlier. First pass solid, but then actually connecting on that second pass to give them the opportunity to get closer to the net and get a higher percentage shot.
As Spaniard just not able to hold the zone, and that one will be sent all the way down for an icing. So 10-3 shots now on net for United, and United really kind of turned this one around compared to the first half of the first period.
Heck of a 2.5 minutes by United here. Just a completely different team than the first. What would that be? 11 minutes?
I believe so.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is? Like, I can't really see the net.
And Fuchs will just go for a cover there. So we'll get another face-off to the right of Emily Fuchs. Emily Fuchs coming into this one with a 3.02 goals against average and a .9 save percentage out of 11 games played, as that shot just rings pipe and squeaks out for the Coyotes. Coming up back up ice as she blows another tire. That ice must be slippery today, Salmon, as we got an offside here.
Williston, the last few minutes, I mean, I would say, for the first 10 minutes of this period, I would have probably given the edge to Williston, but actually, I definitely would have given the edge to Williston. But we need to see how they respond now that United has them on their heels a bit.
Trosen wins the draw back to Aldinger, and Aldinger will find Gimberline. as she chips to Trosen. Trosen back out front for Vetter. Just can't connect there. As we get another board battle down in that far top hand corner. So this one's kicked aside by Fuchs, and I believe Williston will recover. Odland intercepts the dump, tips that one. And Held can't hold the zone. As this one will be taken back by Williston. That was Corona on the rush, on the attempted rush, excuse me, as there's 3 Coyotes on 1 United player down in the zone there. This one gets out to Noss. Noss checked by Spanier. Another check by Spanier.
That was
on to Corona. And
that felt like a little bit more of a retaliation, and the ref was already watching them closely because of the first hit. You gotta realize that even though they didn't call anything for that first hit, the ref's eyes are gonna be on you for the next little bit. You gotta calm your adrenaline a little bit, the frustration you might have felt, and she didn't, and now she's in the box.
Ooh, heavy.
Real
heavy start there for Stalker.
Yeah, excited.
Stalker kind of jumped the gun there, and I think that was probably an opportunity to get kicked out of the dot, but as Stalker intercepts,
almost with a breakaway there.
She'll take it herself. You know, you're on the penalty kill right now, though, and you're up by 2. There's no real need to go on the offensive like that right now.
Dump it in, waste some time.
Yeah. As this one was attempted for Tesoro, excuse me, and she can't intercept that one. As Corona will drive Odlin in.
Big
and
hit.
Corona will go to the box for her checking.
Boy, oh boy. Well, this just got interesting very quickly.
You know, something that we've not really seen, and United is a pretty physical team for not being able to check, as they are, you know, you can't check in girls high school hockey, and they're pretty physical, and I believe I brought that up in most of the time in the Legacy Bismarck game.
Yeah.
Where we were kind of just taking retaliations, and we're really lucky that they weren't calling anything. Well, it's kind of nice to see that the refs are calling something and making sure they know the rule in this game.
It's interesting. It's such a nuanced way of, you know, that you're not allowed to check, but you can bump, you know, you can rub, you can, you know, but there's definitely a line there that they have to walk.
Yeah.
And I mean, you watch enough games, I suppose, especially as these refs do, it gets to be pretty odd. You know, those couple hits there were definitely full-on checks. We couldn't claim that they just bumped into each other. And I actually think the refs have done a good job early in the game. There were a couple times where they bumped into each other, and it was definitely unintentional, and they didn't call those. So kudos to them so far.
Shot from Modlin, just kicked aside there by Fuchs, as they'll come back the other way. Tesoro almost went in on a rush there, got that one intercepted there by Didi, and Stalker will come back up as that one's intercepted by Noss. Noss from the circle.
Holcomb's not going to let that go in. She had too much time to clean up that angle.
Just can't connect, and that will be the end of one. 13-4, shots on goal-wise. United leads those, and they lead it 2-0 here. After the first.
I think it was a real even matchup. Williston definitely controlled things early. United there a little bit at the end. Really the difference was that 2-minute and 30-second charge, 2-minute and 40-second charge that United went on. And then, you know, to be coming back into period 2 on the power play, you know, United's got to be looking for blood in the water and trying to get up to 3-0.
You know, one thing, though, too, something that they could just quick work on is those tape-to-tape passes.
Absolutely.
As well as the line changes. We've talked about that what seems to be a million times almost, and those dangerous line changes are what's going to kill you, especially, if you get a too many men call, that really hurts, especially if it gets to a decisive third period where if you get a penalty, say with 5 minutes left to go and you're up by 2, that's the most dangerous lead in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you could definitely, it's definitely something to work on,
And I do
it's
think
not a necessary fix right now the way it's going.
No.
But the tape-to-tape passes are one thing that could really be worked on.
And you can see that
can
in that
make a difference.
That 2 minute period, that 2 minute little period of time was you're 100% right. They were making their passes, and they were able to set up their plays, and it worked. They got 2 goals out of it real quick.
Most definitely. So we'll take a short break. United goes up by 2 heading into the second. We'll be right back.
Touchmark at Harwood Groves is located in South Fargo, North Dakota, on a 14-acre garden-like setting, and we have everything from cottages to apartments, a health club, activities. We tend to take groups of residents out downtown, which is just a very vibrant and growing community. The easiest way I can say it is we are going to treat our residents the way that we would treat our best friends. That's what it feels like, and that's what I love about my job. It feels like a family.
Discover the experience that awaits you at North Dakota State University. Join the Bison family where connections run deep, from the classroom to the field and beyond. Build an exciting career with the help of industry-leading faculty. Tap into the power of the herd and make unforgettable memories in Fargo, one of the best college towns in the Midwest. Don't wait. Find your adventure at North Dakota State University.
Hi, I'm Micah and I work at Marvin. I've been in the military for 8 years. I was a preventive medicine technician in the U.S. Navy, and so that translated over to working at Marvin and how can safety help make Marvin a better company. The culture working at Marvin is probably the best one I've worked with other than being in the military. Working together and caring about each other. You feel like you're part of the family at Marvin. Come work with me at Marvin. It's a great place to work.
I think what makes Touchmark special is how you feel when you walk into Touchmark at Harwood Groves. We often hear that it's like a North Dakota hug.
I think it's the people that make Touchmark special.
One of the things that makes Touchmark is the caliber of the team members here.
You could ask them for anything and they'll say, we'll take care of it.
Every day that we walk in these doors, we really take time to listen to each other, to listen to our residents, and to be there and to
Hi, I'm Gabby and I work at Marvin. When I first started at Marvin, I was a production associate and I was shocked at how bright the floor was, how clean it was. It can be a very fast-paced environment, but it can also be very fun. I feel great about the growth opportunities at Marvin, especially because I started as a production associate and then worked my way into being an HR coordinator. If you're interested in working in manufacturing or you've never worked in a manufacturing environment before, I would definitely say come try it out. It might surprise you. It can be very fun and rewarding.
Hi, I'm TJ Yoshi here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota. Let's check it out. Warroad is a small town way of life, right on Lake of the Woods. Some of the best fishing in the world.
I think what makes us so unique here is within 15 minutes of me leaving work, I can be out on the lake, I can be on the golf course, I can be on the bike path, I can be out in the Beltrami Island State Forest.
Just a fantastic way to grow up and to live life.
Hi, I'm Joni and I work at Marvin. So when I first started, my training was very extensive. I was able to advance fairly quickly within Marvin, and it's just a matter of telling people that you're interested and really applying yourself. Belonging to Marvin feels like you're part of something, so it's more than just a job. For me, it's a career, and it's been a really exciting journey for me.
Discover the experience that awaits you at North Dakota State University. Join the Bison family where connections run deep, from the classroom to the field and beyond. Build an exciting career with the help of industry-leading faculty. Tap into the power of the herd and make unforgettable memories in Fargo, one of the best college towns in the Midwest. Don't wait. Find your adventure at North Dakota State University.
I'm Kylie and I work at Marvin. The training I received when starting at Marvin was very in-depth. When I moved to Marvin's new facility in Fargo, I was kind of nervous about the new machines that I was going to have to be working with, but I was also very excited because this robot that I get to work with is the coolest thing I've ever done. I love the people that I work with. Belonging to Marvin feels like a second home, somewhere that you can just kind of go to, not super stressful, you can enjoy your day and you can laugh. Come work with me at Marvin, we're an amazing team.
Hi, I'm Nick and I work at Marvin. So my team implements technology in manufacturing, so I quickly became really impressed with manufacturing as a setting for engineering. For an engineer, it's kind of a playground. Here at Marvin, specifically in the signature group like we are in Grafton, it is high volume, high option, meaning you have to make a lot of product, but it's always different. I never expected finding a great job like this kind of out here in a small town. Come work at Marvin.
I'm Kyle and I'm a trainer at Marvin. I work on the night shifts because it works with my schedule. When I first started at Marvin, I started in the forklift department. I was there for 3 months and I saw an opportunity for a new position. I've never been at a company that has made me feel like they actually do care about my career and my career development. I've just had jobs in the past and I really feel like this is the first time I'm actually in a career. Come join me on the evening shift at Marvin. It's a great team and you'll have a lot.
Hi, I'm Diana and I work at Marvin. Working in manufacturing, not a lot of sitting, so it just makes your day go by faster. Belonging to Marvin makes me feel stable. 25 years. My kids were little when I started here in Grafton. Now I have a daughter that works here. She was one of the ones that pushed me to become the lead, pushed me to be the person that I am now. And I just see myself retiring here. If you're looking for an awesome place to work, come join me at Marvin.
So shoulder pain is one of the most common things I see. When Linda came in, she complained of pain in both her shoulders.
You did all the work on the left one, and by the time I had the second one done, I could do anything I wanted to do.
Shoulder replacement, the whole point of that is really to get rid of the pain and get you back to doing normal things again.
You listened to what I wanted, and it worked out great.
We were a good team.
Yes, I think so.
Hi, I'm Gabby and I work at Marvin. When I first started at Marvin, I was a production associate and I was shocked at how bright the floor was, how clean it was. It can be a very fast-paced environment, but it can also be very fun. I feel great about the growth opportunities at Marvin, especially because I started as a production associate and then worked my way into being an HR coordinator. If you're interested in working in manufacturing or you've never worked in a manufacturing environment before, I would definitely say come try it out. It might surprise you. It can be very fun and rewarding.
Hi, I'm TJ Yoshi here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota. The Lake Town way of life is appealing to so many people.
We've got a thriving school system, coffee shops, breweries, restaurants, and hockey is the hub of our community. We're probably the last place left in Minnesota where hockey is actually free.
The way Marvin supports the town supports Marvin is awesome.
There's opportunities for you, work hard, self-educate. The sky's the limit here at Marvin.
Touchmark is a place where you can really be yourself. It's a complete family atmosphere from the residents to the team members to the community.
There is just such a homey feeling here.
The energy and the positivity, I think, is what's really important. You come in, you feel like you're part of a family, you're building a relationship, you're building friendships.
We feel very blessed to be here at Touchmark.
It's incredibly important to create that family atmosphere, which is what Touchmark really values.
I didn't know that I'd play football. I didn't know I'd go pro. I didn't even know if I'd get game time or score a touchdown. But there's one thing I always knew. That I'd never give up.
Health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future. And if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us.
I'm Kylie and I work at Marvin. The training I received when starting at Marvin was very in-depth. When I moved to Marvin's new facility in Fargo, I was kind of nervous about the new machines that I was going to have to be working with, but I was also very excited because this robot that I get to work with is the coolest thing I've ever done. I love the people that I work with. Belonging to Marvin feels like a second home, somewhere that you can just kind of go to, not super stressful, you can enjoy your day and you can laugh. Come work with me at Marvin, we're an amazing team.
Hi, I'm Christian and I work at Marvin. My military background is the basis of who I am. I was looking for something to help me be the Marine who wasn't a Marine anymore. Belonging to Marvin feels like I'm part of something. I know that being with Marvin means I'm making a difference in every homeowner's life because of the windows, skylights, and doors that I'm helping to build. Come work with me at Marvin. I think you'll enjoy it. Hi, I'm Christian and I work at Marvin. My military background is the basis of who I am. I was looking for something to help me be the Marine who wasn't a Marine anymore. Belonging to Marvin feels like I'm part of something. I know that being with Marvin means I'm making a difference in every homeowner's life because of the windows, skylights, and doors that I'm helping to build. Come work with me at Marvin. I think you'll enjoy it.
Tour the beautiful campus of North Dakota State University in Fargo. Learn about majors, scholarships, our free application process, and get a free t-shirt. Register now at ndsu.edu. Discover the experience that awaits you at North Dakota State University. Join the Bison family where connections run deep, from the classroom to the field and beyond. Build an exciting career with the help of industry-leading faculty. Tap into the power of the herd and make unforgettable memories in Fargo, one of the best college towns in the Midwest. Don't wait. Find your adventure at North Dakota State University.
Manufacturing, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not sitting down, doing nothing, just flipping at a couple pieces of wood each day. We are building tomorrow's windows. We all know that each unit that we build makes a difference, not just for the customer, not just for the company, but for each other as well.
At Touchmark, we really take an input from both the community, our residents, and also our team members.
And there's something for everybody. It runs the gamut. You have the freedom to participate or not, as you choose.
I personally like to play bridge. I like their book club, all the concerts that they have, the music almost every day. We like everything that's here.
And you find it here.
Every day is a different day. It's really about developing programming that is meaningful and beneficial.
I'm Kylie and I work at Marvin. The training I received when starting at Marvin was very in-depth. When I moved to Marvin's new facility in Fargo, I was kind of nervous about the new machines that I was going to have to be working with, but I was also very excited because this robot that I get to work with is the coolest thing I've ever done. I love the people that I work with. Belonging to Marvin feels like a second home, somewhere that you can just kind of go to, not super stressful, you can enjoy your day and you can laugh. Come work with me at Marvin, we're an amazing team.
All right, welcome back, folks, to the West Fargo Sports Arena here in West Fargo, North Dakota, where we are about set for second period action between the West Fargo United and the Williston Coyotes. As the United leads the Coyotes 2-0 after one. They'll start on a power play here for about 39 seconds, and then we'll be back to 5-on-5 action. 13 shots coming off of United in the first period compared to the 4 from Williston.
With about 8 of those coming in about a 2.5-minute period.
Yep.
I mean, really that game was defined by that kind of 2.5-minute flurry by United and then a couple late penalties. But yeah, most of the activity we saw was, less than a 3-minute section of the first period.
Coach Pat Johnson once more has got to maybe leave the coach's room a little sooner as we're just getting to the bench right on face-off.
But he is right where he needed to be, right when he needed to be there. He's done this a long time. He knows what he's doing.
The linesman's waiting for him, too. So United wins the opening draw here in period number 2 as Hassler comes down deep into the zone, pressure and Noss, as this one spits out to Spanier for a shot and a glove stop there by Emily Fuchs.
I like that coming right out the gate, getting a shot. Not a high percentage shot, but still showing them that they're there, that last period wasn't a fluke, that they're going to come out hard and try to get this up to a 3-goal lead.
Williston wins this draw. This one sent all the way down onto Holcomb, so no icing called. Either way, it wouldn't have been an icing because they still are on the penalty kill, or Williston is still on the penalty. Oh, my goodness. Williston is still on the penalty kill.
Lots of syllables.
What are syllables?
Syllables.
Syllables? Anyway. Stocker takes it behind the Williston net here as she's just going to try and set something up. Hopefully, yeah. I was going to say the one thing she doesn't want to do in that case is get tied up like that, and Matthias comes out with it either way. Matthias from the low circle, tipped by Rude. The tip just went wide, though, as Odlin tries to intercept that one coming off of Corona. Back to 5-on-5 action here as Rude in a board battle in Corona, and Didi will go at it. This one spits out to Matthias, a shot, and she scores.
Boy, how did that get over? Do we have a replay angle of that? How did that get over, but still?
Just over her shoulder. Maybe a little.
Holy cow.
Maybe a little too early to jump on the Panda there, wow. That overlap from the right side of the crease.
It didn't seem like she had the angle to have that. Boy, that's a great shot. Good job by her. I thought for sure that was going to go high.
Maybe even had to jump out and kind of put, that back spike of Fuchs's blade on top of the post instead of the.
That was interesting. That was a nice
instead
shot.
Of stay out.
I got to be honest. I glanced down the ice for just a split second and had to watch the replay on that one. That was a great shot. Good job by them. 3-goal lead, trying to take over this game. Really try to put Williston on their heels as much as they possibly can here. Not let them gain any sort of footing whatsoever.
So 15:06 left to go as United goes up 3-0. We apologize for the scoreboard difficulties here.
Yeah, our little.
As we're trying to figure it out.
Our little scoreboard box is being a little tricky today. I don't know what its problem is. We plugged everything in for the first time since the Winter Classic, and everything's been really good. But that scoreboard box just it doesn't want to play fair today. So we apologize for that. We'll try to find a solution as soon as possible.
This one finds Vetter in the defensive zone as that one's intercepted there as Gimberlin gets knocked out, or Trosen, excuse me, gets knocked off the puck there. I cannot talk this period, Sam.
Well, you had some. It looks like you had some chocolate over the break. Maybe that's like gumming up your words a little bit.
As Gimberlin can't control behind her own net here as Williston comes out on top with it on that far side. Boards, a shot from the point gets kicked away by Holcomb as this one's dumped in once more for Aldinger to recover. Vetter finds it, I think, as we get a board battle there on the near side. Corona with as much power as she probably can from the point gets deflected away there as we get a board battle, and Aldinger tries to dump out, intercepted there by Lexi Corona. Attempted dump once more, gets blocked, and that one will go all the way down for an icing. 13:43 left to go. United's up 3-0, 15-7 shots. So we'll see how this one plays out.
Looks like they were looking to get a change there and just felt like the best way to do it was send it down the ice and get some fresh legs out there.
As Lee wins this face-off, gets back to Noss. Noss tried to go for a deflection. Just tipped wide as get another board battle on the near side boards. And the drive in goes just across the paint there as United comes out with it. Eventually gets back to Bentz, chips over to Spanier. Spanier will look towards Stalker, on the far side. And Stalker will come in on a 3-on-2 as they'll dump in and change.
I know they were looking for the change there, but with that 3-on-2, I feel like they should have maybe pushed through that instead of dumping it and tried to at least get a shot off. And then, if she saves it, then they can make their change then. But I think they maybe had something there that they should have pushed for.
Rude comes out with a pass from Spanier. And a rebound just went out towards the slot as that one's gloved. Coming off the shot from Spanier, that one's gloved down by Fuchs, and we'll get a face-off to the left of her here.
Yeah, nice glove save, had her angle. Pretty routine goalie save there.
Corona will win this one back to Heller as this one's intercepted. Rude with the shot, and Didi with an attempted rebound can't collect as Matthias finds Didi, and this one gets over to Williamson now.
Good job by Heller from Williston. They're not allowing them to get in behind her and get that extra shot.
As Corona was looking towards Tesoro there and intercepted by a United player, as that one is looking towards Tesoro once again, and that one's all the way down for an icing called.
It looks like our scoreboard's back, but not, because it's actually 12:08 left. So it's trying really hard, but it's just not quite reacting the way we like. But hey, we'll be happy that it's at least up. Now the next step is to get it to go back to live. Sometimes these different technologies can be a little finicky.
Trosen ties her up on the draw as thought Corona would come out with that for a second, and Vetter took a high wide shot there. As this one gets all the way down to Trosen. Trosen just dumps one.
Close though.
All the way down.
Definitely looking for Vetter there, just a little off the mark, but boy, if she had landed that pass, Vetter would have had an absolute rocket of a shot there.
This one spits out to the point, glove down by Holcomb, and that one deflects out into the far side boards as Trosen will go into battle here. This one chips out Williamson and Chase. Eventually gets to it, and this one is chipped out once more for Harris to intercept. As United will finally come the other way. Nedgerbo on a rush. Coming in, applying pressure there. Aldinger gets tied up with two Coyotes there in the backfield as Gimberline comes out with it, and this one's chipped down once more for Stalker to chase Noss, and that one will be an icing called.
Couple of nice shots so far in the first, half of the second period. A couple missed opportunities by both teams. But sure, it's got to feel a lot better being up 3-0, feeling like you're controlling the second period much more. As much as it was nice to see United take off for those 2.5 minutes, you're going to want more consistent play in the second period, and we've definitely seen that from United so far today.
Attempted shot there from the point off of Pocus. Gets intercepted, as that one will be deflected away there by Aldinger. And they'll try and make their way back up ice as that one's kept in there by Pocus. And United comes the other way once more here. Gimberline on the near side. As we get a tie up here along that far right side boards. This one chips out to Matthias. Matthias with an attempted shot gets blocked there by Lee. So this one chips out to Rude. Rude blows a tire there. And this one will get out for Williston. Josephson tried to dump back in, and Wilson will hold the onside call. This one eventually gets to Didi here as she just takes a dump in and gets a change. And Nedgerbo had to get back on side there. Josephson tried to look out front to Van Dam there, just can't collect as it's deflected away out front as Spanier takes a shot and right into the chest of Fuchs.
I don't know if Fuchs expected that to make it all the way in. It looked like, she had her angle and she was lined up, but she seemed like she was a little bit behind it. I wonder if she was expecting that to get deflected and was kind of waiting for that, because there was a couple people in the way, a couple sticks in the way.
Corona wins the draw against Bentz there, as this one's kept in by Odlin, sinking down as Stalker finds Hassler out front, and that one's just tipped wide.
Boy, great opportunity there for United. Just couldn't quite capitalize on the opportunity, but great job.
As this one's chipped away once more there by Fuchs, as this one finds Bentz on the near side. Gets out to Odlin, and she scores.
Oh.
Madison Odlin puts them up by 4 now.
Is that a little bit of a screen there by Stalker? Or did Stalker hit it with her skate? I think that might have gone off Stalker's skate. It did.
Oh, it was a Stalker.
Oh, boy. No wonder.
Stalker tipped there.
It went off the kind of the arch of her skate, and instead of coming in on the goalie's right side, it transitioned to the left and then just hit the inside of the post to go in. That's as a goalie, there's not a whole lot you can do to adjust for that. That's a tough one. But, hey, that's why you get in front of the goalie, right? That's why you're up there. Try to wreak havoc.
So Williston shot goes just wide there on that far side. Shot from the point coming off of Noss, I believe. Is intercepted, and Hassler will come the other way. Hassler with an opportunity for a break. Can't collect. She gets driven in by Stundal.
Quick shout out to the other Mustang Media Advisor, Mr. Thomas, and our producer, Bo Beam, for getting us those replays. Those are fantastic. That's something that we've been working a lot on this year to try to get better replay system going, and that was really helpful for us, and hopefully that was helpful for you guys at home.
Harris gets it out of the defensive zone as this one's intercepted by Aldinger in the backfield as that one's chipped down. No icing call. She was just barely across the red line there as Rude rushes in to help Matthias.
Listen, if we can't get our scoreboard working, we might as well have some sweet replays.
So Adland will get credited with the goal.
Oh, they did give it to Adland. Did they? I wonder if they.
So I wonder if they
probably didn't see it because
maybe they need our stream up down there. Get like a little Toronto thing going on.
Where they put that, we need to get that where they have the TVs in the floor of the benches.
Yep.
So they can look down and review stuff. Yeah, that was definitely a stalker goal, but I don't blame them for missing it because we didn't see it the first time. It did seem like it came off weird, but if we hadn't gotten that second replay view, we would have never seen it.
Just kept in there by Benz as Benz takes a shot off the shoulder of Fuchs there as this one spits out to Josephson. Josephson tries to find Benz in the slot. Just can't catch her. As Benz will take this one in. Stalker just barely able to find the opposite side of the zone as Hassler intercepts this one. And this one will be chipped all the way down by Stundall, and that will be an icing called for what seems like the first whistle in quite a while. I don't believe we had too many whistles since that goal.
Nope, and other than that goal, we hadn't had anything before that for a little bit either. You know, I'm sure all the players don't mind. Whoever gets the goal gets the goal as long as we win the game. But you got to feel like if Stalker gets another one, she's going to be a little bummed that she doesn't get that Hattie, right? She wouldn't get credit for that. That would just be a second goal.
Odland sends one in on net, and great job there by Fuchs as she kind of snapped down to try and find that rebound and cover it up there. So
if there's one thing she's learning so far this game is don't give United that second opportunity.
as Didi loses the draw to Corona there as Pocus tried to find Corona going in back up for the rush, and just can't find her. As this one chips all the way out and up to Williamson as she dumps down and in. Dangerous pass there. That one's intercepted there by Williston as Corona will come the other way. Corona drove down and in. As this one will be taken by Rude. Rude dumps in, going off the boards, and that's going to go in on Fuchs. So no icing called. This one's taken by Heller. Heller found Ekblad there, and Ekblad tried to get up to the point man and just couldn't collect. As United tries to get something going here. That one's almost intercepted there by Harris coming off the bench. As Nedgerbo will now take it and try and get a dump in, just can't collect as Vetter chips, no icing off the tip.
I think United would have loved to chase that down, but they were on the ice for a while there.
Intercepted there by Trosen as she takes the shot and goes just wide.
Boy, trying to deflect that in the air, that would have been a heck of a goal.
Hassler now with the shot, goes high and short there. As that one was intended for Lee, and Lee couldn't catch up. Luckily, she was across the red line, so no icing called. As Hassler tries to catch up to this one and tries to cut in. Can't really control the puck, until she gets to that until she gets to that far right board, that low board. So, Hassler on the drives lately, trying to control and just can't really get to it in time. As the Coyotes come the other way and shot goes off the right pad of Holcomb and gets kicked aside as Matthias will not catch the icing called.
If it wasn't for some of these icing calls, there would be very few whistles this period. I mean, there have been anyway, but most of the ones we've had are for icing. I mean, a couple rushes here by United, but that's all they needed to do. When you come into the period up 2-0, you kind of throw on the Jets a couple times and get a couple extra goals. And I mean, you don't want to get on your heels by any means, but they can kind of afford a little bit of a defensive style here now that they're up by 4.
As Didi comes in, Didi just rings one off the pipe there, looking for Rude out front. She had Rude on the original charge. So honestly, something that, maybe just look for that pass option instead. I realize there was a defender there, but there's an obvious check down low by Josephson.
Well, if Williston was looking to get going, try to cut into this deficit, now's the time. 3 minutes left of the second period. They're on the power play for 2 of those 3 minutes. I would say that this is a must-score power play for them.
This is kind of like what we talked about, too, before intermission, is the fact that United is a physical team for a non-checking, league, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when it can get dangerous for them, being the way that they are.
Well, it's finding that balance of using that aggression to benefit you and not going just a little bit too far and having it hurt you. And that can be a tough tightrope to walk.
This one gets dumped down, and then Stalker intercepts the dump attempt. This one finds Bentz out front in the slot, and great job there by Emily Fuchs to find that one and cover it up.
Yep, nice short-handed attempt there. Good job by Fuchs to cover it. Not what you want if you want. Like I said, Williston can't be on their heels here, and it's their own power play, and they're sitting in their own zone having to support their goaltender. That's definitely not what they want to see right now.
So Lee will win the draw against Matthias and find Stundal there, and this one finds Weidrich on the charge, takes a shot, and that's kicked away there by Holcomb as United tries to come the other way now. This one intercepted there by Stundal as she finds, I believe that's Noss. She finds Weidrich, and a shot from her just goes into the high chest of Holcomb. So 2 minutes left to go, 1:03 left on the power play for Williston. Take good shots. You don't, in a power play like this, you want to take the good shots from the slot. Make sure there's a little bit of traffic, perhaps get a tip, something like that, just to get you going.
Or
at least not get shut out. I mean,
right.
You want to leave with something off of this, obviously.
Yep. And at the very least, if you're not going to get the highest percentage shot, maybe try to shoot low, hope that you can shoot it at the goaltender and get a rebound.
As another shot just goes into the chest of Holcomb.
Although if Holcomb does that and just eats all the pucks that come to her, it's not going to give you a whole lot of opportunities no matter where you shoot it.
That was a great cut into the slot there. I'm not quite sure who that was. I believe it was Lee. Just a great cut into the slot there as she finds room to take a shot like that, and Holcomb was just there to cut it off.
You mentioned Holcomb's save percentage going down after last night's game. I think she took that personally today. I think she's looking to get that right back up there in one game.
As we'll get a short side board battle here between Stalker and Ekblad. Ekblad finds Noss. Noss finds Corona. Go on the opposite direction now. Noss with a snipe from the point goes off the pad of Holcomb, and that one might have stung a little.
Yeah, just a rocket.
Aldinger tries to chip this one up, and now it intercepted by the Williston defender, and there's a little bit of interference in front there from what I saw, but Hassler will try and make that second cut in, gets a shot off coming all the way around, and Fuchs will cover.
Great effort by Hassler there to chase down that puck, and not only chase it down, but at least get something, get the puck on net. Again, everything they're doing here, every time they're getting the puck on net, they're causing a face-off in the other zone. They're eating away at that time. I mean, I know it's only the second, but with a 4-goal lead, just keep putting the pressure on. Keep putting the pressure on.
So 30 seconds left. We are back to 5-on-5 once more. Excuse the scoreboard issues. We're trying to figure it out, but
it's trying. It's trying.
As this one gets all the way out to the slot, a dangerous play there. This one finds Weidrich.
Got 15 seconds left on the clock, not a minute 35. 10 seconds left.
As we'll kind of just go into the third here, up by 4.
And there it is.
25 to 15 shots on net. United leads those. United leads it 4-0 going into the third. So, a lot better on the changes that period. I know we talked about it and said it's not really an immediate change, but it's something that they could definitely, that we've talked about that they could definitely work on, like we talked about. And I think they did I think they did a better job this period, even trying to find those tape-to-tapes better. Definitely were hitting more passes from what it seemed, and that's the reason they lead it 4-0 going into the third.
Yeah, everything about that period was better for United. Everything. Their changes, their passing, their spacing, capitalizing on opportunities. I mean, you could argue that was it the fourth goal that went off of Stocker's leg, or was that the third goal?
I believe that was the third.
That was the third goal. I mean, sure, a little bit of luck there, but if you keep setting yourself up in those opportunities.
Or maybe it was the fourth.
I think it was the fourth. Yeah, you keep setting yourself up for opportunities like that, and every now and then they're going to go in.
So with that, we'll take a short break and be right back. You're watching United Hockey on Mustang Media.
If you're thinking about growing your family someday, we'd like to remind you of one simple thing. Babies bring us joy. With an unwavering commitment to delivering the highest quality care, Essentia Health is ready when your someday arrives. Essentia Health, caring for you and your future.
Hi, I'm TJ Oshie here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota. Let's check it out. Warroad is a small town way of life, right on Lake of the Woods. Some of the best fishing in the world.
I think what makes us so unique here is within 15 minutes of me leaving work, I can be out on the lake, I can be on the golf course, I can be on the bike path, I can be out in the Beltrami Island State Forest.
Just a fantastic way to grow up and to live life.
Tour the beautiful campus of North Dakota State University in Fargo. Learn about majors, scholarships, our free application process, and get a free t-shirt. Register now at ndsu.edu.
Hi, I'm Gabby, and I work at Marvin. When I first started at Marvin, I was a production associate, and I was shocked at how bright the floor was, how clean it was. It can be a very fast-paced environment, but it can also be very fun. I feel great about the growth opportunities at Marvin, especially because I started as a production associate and then worked my way into being an HR coordinator. If you're interested in working in manufacturing or you've never worked in a manufacturing environment before, I would definitely say come try it out. It might surprise you. It can be very fun and rewarding.
What would you do with a second chance? At Essentia Health, we understand the significance of second chances. Our heart specialists see them every day. That's why regular checkups and heart screenings are vital, even if you feel fine, and especially when you have a family history. Essentia Health is the right place for early detection, advanced treatments, comprehensive cardiac rehab, for second chances. At Essentia Health, we work hard to keep your heart.
Hi, I'm TJ Oshie here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota. Let's check it out. Warroad is a small town way of life, right on Lake of the Woods. Some of the best fishing in the world.
I think what makes us so unique here is within 15 minutes of me leaving work, I can be out on the lake, I can be on the golf course, I can be on the bike path, I can be out in the Beltrami Island State Forest.
Just a fantastic way to grow up and to live life.
One thing that I've always enjoyed about being a physician is just the patient and physician relationship.
Part of why I trusted him is because I felt more than just a patient.
We figured out the best situation for my injury, and we chose the one that would best fit me.
I'm a huge sports fan, have been my whole life and still am today. I have a strong desire to help people maintain their activity levels and to get back to doing the things that they are passionate about.
I'm Kyle, and I'm a trainer at Marvin. I work on the night shifts because it works with my schedule. When I first started at Marvin, I started in the forklift department. I was there for 3 months, and I saw an opportunity for a new position. I've never been at a company that has made me feel like they actually do care about my career and my career development. I've just had jobs in the past, and I really feel like this is the first time I'm actually in a career. Come join me on the evening shift at Marvin. It's a great team, and you'll have
Hi, I'm Joni and I work at Marvin. So when I first started, my training was very extensive. I was able to advance fairly quickly within Marvin, and it's just a matter of telling people that you're interested and really applying yourself. Belonging to Marvin feels like you're part of something, though it's more than just a job. For me, it's a career, and it's been a really exciting journey for me.
Touchmark at Harwood Groves is located in South Fargo, North Dakota, on a 14-acre garden-like setting, and we have everything from cottages to apartments, a health club, activities. We tend to take groups of residents out downtown, which is just a very vibrant and growing community. The easiest way I can say it is we are going to treat our residents the way that we would treat our best friends. That's what it feels like, and that's what I love about my job. It feels like a family.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I work at Marvin. So my team implements technology in manufacturing, so I quickly became really impressed with manufacturing as a setting for engineering. For an engineer, it's kind of a playground. Here at Marvin, specifically in the signature group like we are in Grafton, it is high volume, high option, meaning you have to make a lot of product, but it's always different. I never expected finding a great job like this kind of out here in a small town. Come work at Marvin.
Hi, I'm TJ Yoshi here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota. The Lake Town way of life is appealing to so many people.
We've got a thriving school system, coffee shops, breweries, restaurants, and hockey is the hub of our community. We're probably the last place left in Minnesota where hockey is actually free.
The way Marvin supports the town supports Marvin is awesome.
There's opportunities for you, work hard, self-educate. The sky's the limit here at Marvin.
So shoulder pain is one of the most common things I see. When Linda came in, she complained of pain in both her shoulders.
You did all the work on the left one, and by the time I had the second one done, I could do anything I wanted to do.
Shoulder replacement, the whole point of that is really to get rid of the pain and get you back to doing normal things again.
You listened to what I wanted, and it worked out great.
We were a good team.
Yes, I think so.
A few years ago, my hip was getting to the point where it was affecting my life. So then when I met you in the office, you listened to what I had to say.
My goal is to teach patients about their diagnosis, explain the treatment options so that they can make the decision that is best for them. Because we don't just treat what an x-ray tells us.
Our goal is to get the best possible outcome for the patient. It's just a great feeling to know that you help that patient get back to doing the things they want to do.
And now I have a new hip that feels
Touchmark at Harwood Groves is located in South Fargo, North Dakota, on a 14-acre garden-like setting, and we have everything from cottages to apartments, a health club, activities. We tend to take groups of residents out downtown, which is just a very vibrant and growing community. The easiest way I can say it is we are going to treat our residents the way that we would treat our best friends. That's what it feels like, and that's what I love about my job. It feels like a family.
I'm Kylie and I work at Marvin. The training I received when starting at Marvin was very in-depth. When I moved to Marvin's new facility in Fargo, I was kind of nervous about the new machines that I was going to have to be working with, but I was also very excited because this robot that I get to work with is the coolest thing I've ever done. I love the people that I work with. Belonging to Marvin feels like a second home, somewhere that you can just kind of go to, not super stressful, you can enjoy your day and you can laugh. Come work with me at Marvin, we're an amazing team.
A few years ago, my hip was getting to the point where it was affecting my life. So then when I met you in the office, you listened to what I had to say.
My goal is to teach patients about their diagnosis, explain the treatment options so that they can make the decision that is best for them, because we don't just treat what an x-ray tells us.
Our goal is to get the best possible outcome for the patient. It's just a great feeling to know that you help that patient get back to doing the things they want to do.
And now I have a new hip that feels.
If you're thinking about growing your family someday, we'd like to remind you of one simple thing. Babies bring us joy. With an unwavering commitment to delivering the highest quality care, Essentia Health is ready when your someday arrives. Essentia Health, caring for you and your future.
Hi, I'm TJ Oshie here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota. Let's check it out. Warroad is a small town way of life, right on Lake of the Woods. Some of the best fishing in the world.
I think what makes us so unique here is within 15 minutes of me leaving work, I can be out on the lake, I can be on the golf course, I can be on the bike path, I can be out in the Beltrami Island State Forest.
Just a fantastic way to grow up and to live life.
Hi, I'm Diana and I work at Marvin. Working in manufacturing, not a lot of sitting, so it just makes your day go by faster. Belonging to Marvin makes me feel stable. 25 years. My kids were little when I started here in Grafton. Now I have a daughter that works here. She was one of the ones that pushed me to become the lead, pushed me to be the person that I am now. And I just see myself retiring here. If you're looking for an awesome place to work, come join me at Marvin.
Hi, I'm Christian and I work at Marvin. My military background is the basis of who I am. I was looking for something to help me be the Marine who wasn't a Marine anymore. Belonging to Marvin feels like I'm part of something. I know that being with Marvin means I'm making a difference in every homeowner's life because the windows, skylights, and doors that I'm helping to build. Come work with me at Marvin. I think you'll enjoy it.
Take no loss, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground then it go off, yeah. Hit the ground then it go off, yeah. I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, yeah. I hit the ground then it go off, yeah. Hit the ground then it go off, yeah, yeah. Run it, ooh. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
All right, welcome back, folks, to the West Fargo Sports Arena here in West Fargo, North Dakota. I'm Tristan Marak. Joined alongside me is Dustin Salmon for Today's girls matchup, United leads the Williston Coyotes 4-0 so far, headed into the third here. 25-15 shots on goal. United leads those as well. Salmon, your thoughts on the first two?
Much better second period by United than the first. As we mentioned, the first period was really, honestly, I would have probably given the period to Williston overall, but there was about a 2.5-minute period there where United took over, got 2 goals. So it definitely looked like it was a lot more lopsided towards United than it was, other than those couple minutes. But the second period, I mean, it was pretty much all United there. There was a couple of decent shots by Williston, but United definitely controlled the second period. Both goals, the first goal, very nice goal to give them the 3-point lead. And then the fourth goal got a little wonky there, going off of a foot. But I think what that really speaks to is that United was much more aggressive about attacking the goaltender, and when that happens, sometimes you're going to get bounces that go your way. You just have to keep giving yourself as many opportunities as you possibly can. That is what United did, and they were able to capitalize on them to take the 4-0 lead. I think when United comes out here in the third period, they just need to try to replicate period 2. Williston, on the other hand, has to take a few risks. Do you want to end up losing 6-0? No. But I think if you're going to try to climb back from a 4-goal deficit in one period of hockey with the way the game's gone so far, you're going to have to push really hard and try to get a 1 or 2 quick ones real early in this period.
So we are about set for third period action here, as Didi and Corona will take the opening face-off, which Corona wins, and this one will start out with the Coyotes going on the offensive here as Corona picks up the loose puck. Tried to dump down there to Tesoro. To Tesoro. That's kind of a tongue twister.
To Tesoro,
To Tesoro. As a wraparound attempt goes just wide. Another shot coming off of Tesoro also goes wide here as Odlin trips up Ekblad there down low as Matthias comes the other way, going towards the opposite end of the ice here as Matthias will try and stick with the puck here, and Wilson eventually comes out with it as this one gets out to Hassler. Glove stopped there by Fuchs.
Matthias wasn't able to capitalize on that pass, or on that play. However, that's exactly what we were saying they needed to do more of after the first period, which was get those tape-to-tape passes, and they did. And if you keep doing that, 1 or 2 of those are gonna go your way. So good job by them to come out and continue to have that really clean hockey.
Bentz looked down towards Hassler there and just couldn't connect as this one gets dumped all the way down. No icing called as Stalker's in chase. Stalker will come in short side, goes just wide, and Fuchs will cover up,
Definitely nice seeing United come out this way for them. And not allowing themselves to get complacent during the break. Keep the gas on, or the gas on the pedal. The pedal on the gas.
The pedal on the gas.
What am I trying to say? The
gas pedal on the pedal.
Jeepers. I had some caffeine over break. I needed for that to kick in, I guess.
Keep the pedal to the metal.
There you go. I couldn't say
there
any
you
of
go.
the right ones correctly.
Keep the pedal to the metal or keep your foot on the gas.
Foot on the gas, pedal to the metal, gas on the brake. I don't know what I'm talking
gas about. On the brake? What?
I'm just saying words, putting them in order.
Okay. We got another board battle down. Sorry, folks. It's a long day. It's been a long day. As we get Trosen and Chase coming behind, I believe that's Nos. Or, excuse me, that's not Nos. That's Tesoro. Trying to tell they got, Williston numbers aren't the greatest to see. They got black on black with white outlines, so they are a little easy, but they're not as easy as a United. They're almost similar to the Cheyenne jerseys on the Winter Classic, the boys team camo jerseys, from 5 stories up. You'd think orange on camo would be visible, but it's not with fog. And
I got to say, visually, I really like Williston's jerseys, but I know what you're saying. I think what happens is because it's black on the inside as well, when it folds a little bit, it can be hard to kind of see, is that a 1? Is that a 7? Is that a 5?
Yeah.
So, but I like the look of it. It can be kind of hard to.
Tesoro tried to go to Noss there as this one spits out all the way to Matthias, and Matthias will go on the charge and chase with Didi. Great job by Didi there to hold off. I know Didi's the one to kind of follow through and, you know, maybe end up with a checking call on a play like that. And it's probably best that she held off on that one as she saw Matthias coming in with her too.
And that's really kind of the only thing they've done poorly a couple times is getting a couple calls and giving Williston an opportunity on the power play. I can't help but wonder if the coaches for United talked to him about that during the break and just said, hey, there's no need for it. We don't need to give them any more opportunities than we already have.
Stalker finds Bentz coming off the pass from Josephson, and Bentz rushes in as Fuchs will just hang on. Hang on? What did I try? I almost went, we're kind of...
You should, instead of drinking soda while you do this, just water. We need more hydration and water.
Yeah. So, anyway.
We were more focused on the temperature, I think, when we were outside.
It was an early morning, I think.
Everybody bear with Tristan. He spilled his coffee all over his car earlier today.
I did. Yeah,
You got to deal with that.
I got to deal with that after this is over, so.
I love the smell of coffee, so that wouldn't bother me so much, but yeah.
Our producer, Bo Beam, I can hear making fun of me right now probably for it. So. Oh, no, they're talking about the football game when I spilled.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Big game tomorrow night.
It's not on that keyboard, Bo. So, Williamson tries to take a shot on net, or I believe that was an intended pass for, Dolan? I believe Dolan. Yeah. Avery Dolan's getting some playing time here. So we see her on the ice for the first time almost since Bismarck Legacy, or the Legacy Bismarck game, I believe.
Which is good. They're recognizing that this is an opportunity where maybe they can bring some players out and give them a little bit more ice time, give them a little bit more experience, which is obviously great for your team as a whole. You never know when you're going to have to rely on someone a little bit more from that third or fourth line.
So definitely a lot more shots in this game. Kind of going back to that Legacy Bismarck game, that game they only had, I believe it was 4 shots.
0 in the first.
I believe it was the 9-minute 20 mark. One coming off of Stalker in the second. And then the rest of them followed with only 3, and I believe those were all in the third.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah,
if I remember right.
Looking completely different. And really they had already turned that around by the time we had that Winter Classic last week. They had a lot more shots. But this is I don't remember the exact stat on how many shots they had last game outdoors, but this is definitely more than that. They're pushing. I mean, even there, they've had a few of those too where they've really tried to set themselves up in front of the net and haven't been able to get the shot on net. So I mean, yeah, they have 32 shots, but attempts that have gone wide or attempts that have just missed. They've definitely been much more in the driver's seat this game than even last game where they played better than against Grand Forks, but just other than that early first period here, they've just looked so much more in control. And I wonder if some of that's just confidence. You get a couple goals going in, you start to feel good about it. You're making some passes, your breakouts are coming together nicer. A lot of confidence goes a long ways, and they look like they're playing with confidence right now.
That shot just tipped in front, and Bentz gets the rebound, and she scores.
Boy.
Regan Bentz collects one for the United.
Just
tried to go for the tip on the first one, I believe she finds her.
Oh, wow, great job.
Kind of just held it there, kind of like a, I don't know what you call it, bus stop move, if I remember right, and like
that was great.
Four square or something. if I remember right, she tried to get oh my goodness.
That was decades ago for me.
Yeah,
decades ago for me.
Stopped it right in front there and collected it. I don't even think she knew that it was behind her in a sense there and where it went. And
the last time I played Foursquare, it was a different century.
Oof. Tells you how old you are.
Exactly. That was great, though. Good job not panicking and trying to rush it either.
Yeah.
she was able to find it in her feet, take a brief second there to kind of make sure she had the right angle at it. And
Nedgerbo almost gets one off of Fuchs' foot there.
Awesome goal. Awesome goal. And
So like we talked about, Fuchs coming into this one with a 3.02 goals against average along with a .9 save percentage, you know. And like we've talked about before, for any goalie really, you know, until you get up to those higher levels, .9 is really, really solid.
Absolutely.
You know, even at the higher levels, that's that's still, you know, a pretty solid goalie there. And
you have a 10-year career and you average over 9, you're probably flirting with the Hall of Fame.
As we get a board battle down low here, Williston comes out on top with it as they will try and make their way up ice once more, and Gratz can't get out of the zone. And then excuse me, I believe that's Dahlin on the far side there. Trying to figure out who that was. I apologize, folks. As Spanier just chips one up and in onto Fuchs. And this one was a pass out front intended for Matthias. Gets intercepted by a Coyote there. And Rude just dumps one in there, as that's going to be a delayed offside. None of the United players realize it really, but
got away with it.
Hassler rushes the zone now, coming in off of the dumped in, or the chipped in puck, dumped in puck, whatever you want to call it. This one gets all the way up to a Williston Coyote in the neutral zone. That's Weidrich there. So Weidrich intercepts this one coming off the keep in from Noss. This one will be taken by Tesoro as Stalker strips that one away from her, and Williamson just chips one up and out for Noss to recover.
Perfect opportunity for United to get a change there without having to worry about it. Oh, and we're going to get a tripping call, it looks like. That was pretty close. Definitely missed the puck, so I can see why she'd be called for that. I'd have to see it a little. I don't know if we'll get a closer look. Boy, that was close.
So Aldinger's going to go for a trip here.
Great opportunity for Williston.
Once more, you know, like you just said and like we've talked about, great opportunities for Williston, just not able to really capitalize on any of them so far.
And moral victories don't account for much, but if Williston can get one or two before the end of this game here and just kind of give themselves a little bit of a positive feeling at the end, I think that could go a long way for whatever game they have next.
Noss, a hard shot from the point, gets deflected by Matthias there as this one's chipped down low to Corona. Corona gets tripped up there. This one's sent back out to Stundal, over to Noss. Noss back to Stundal. Stundal can't really connect tape to tape on that, as this one's now taken by Gimberline. Kind of just a little corner battle there as this one's taken out, and Ekblad finds Noss and eventually finds Stundal tipped in front and goes just wide, as Matthias will
very clear by Matthias.
Finally get a dump.
Get some fresh legs on the ice for the last minute of the power play. Or penalty kill, excuse me.
Wilson just trying to generate something here, as this is Weidrich coming up ice now. This one gets out to Corona. Corona with the shot, goes off the skate of Spanier. This one gets to Weidrich once more. Weidrich with an attempted shot gets kind of tripped up there by Williamson, and this one gets all the way up to Stalker coming the other way. As Aldinger's got 30 seconds left in the box as Wilson tries to come back up, and Wilson coach is not too happy with
of
the miss. I was kind of wondering about that one. That one was a little
That one was
a little too close for comfort. So
if I'm being honest, I feel like that was a little bit more obvious than maybe the actual penalty that they are killing right now. But hey, they didn't call it, so you move on.
Lee gets her pass intercepted there by Spanier in the slot, as Vetter will just dump this one all the way down and in. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 7:02 left to go. No icing. This one gets to Lee. Lee intended for Ekblad there. As Noss will find Ekblad, and Brooklyn Ekblad takes a shot off the left pad of Holcomb. As Trosen gets her pass intercepted, picked up down low there by Josephson, and chipped up by Nedrebo and out, as I believe that was Heller not being able to hold the zone there.
And those sorts of shots, Williston or really any other team that plays United in the future, they're going to have to, pull some sort of move or something, because if you come along those edges there and you let Holcomb establish her angles and you don't, cause her to have to move side to side very much, she's going to stop that every time.
This one's intercepted by Aldinger. Aldinger coming off the tripping call just recently, and that one, no icing called once more. As this one spits all the way out the other way, no icing. This one gets to Dolan. Can't connect there. Goes off the right pad of Holcomb. And United's going to try and come the other way. As Huber just chips one all the way down, and that'll be an icing called. So 5:19 left to go here. United leads it 5-0. 37-19 shots on goal. They also lead those. So we'll see how the rest of this game plays out. Once again, Williston just not really being able to capitalize, on any chances today, as we've seen, and as that.
And a lot of those chances. Getting kind of eaten up. Whereas in the first period they were kind of going through a little bit more often, but United's really stamping down on defense and then coming alive on offense, and it's a tough thing to battle against.
Apologize for the laughter. Didi kind of jumped the gun there way too early, and I'm surprised she didn't get kicked as Noss fires another clapper. That one's blocked point blank by Williamson, as Spanier intercepts the attempted shot from the neutral zone, and she'll come up ice, and Spanier with a cut in doesn't go anywhere. As we'll get a short side battle as this one chips out to Bentz. Bentz with the shot. That one gets covered there by Fuchs, as we got a little bit of a tussle going on down in the slot there.
It was a great shot, and good job on Fuchs to not allow that rebound, because that was set up perfectly to be shot on net and for it to rebound directly to the other United player. So to eat that up was a good move.
So we'll get
both refs agreeing that it's a hockey puck.
We got something down on the ice on the.
A little bit of tape, maybe? Chunk of tape?
Possibly, as. Not quite sure what we're looking. I think we're checking to see maybe a skate. Skate took a chunk out of the puck or something, and they wanted a new one or something. Or either way, Fuchs will cover off of the kind of immediate rush in there, as Stocker was in front. Stocker's doing a great job today trying to find those tips in that screen in front, as she's just getting to the slot whenever she can.
And just kind of being a thorn in the side of Williston, just letting them know that she's always going to be there and they can't let up when she's around.
As Williston's going to try and come the other way now, as the shot on net is just going to be gloved by Holcomb.
a little bit of.
Once more, one of those things where, I believe Williston's probably like a 7-hour drive, maybe you'd say, or so, 6, 7.
6 to 7, yeah.
At this point, you just don't want to get shut out, and that's the only thing.
Right. Give you something to hang your hat on before you
yeah.
have a long ride home. That's a long
Because believe me, that's going to be a long ride, especially after the 6-1 loss last night against the Spruans. Leave with something.
Yep, absolutely.
Here.
Something to build off of if you can. But I don't know. Hokum's looking pretty solid tonight.
And that's another thing we talked about, too, in pregame was the fact that, or maybe it was at the Bismarck or the Legacy Bismarck game, the fact that girls doesn't have enough teams to where they can split into a WDA and an EDC, so they're all combined, and that's the kind of whole reason for these weekend games. So, one weekend most of the EDC or most of the Eastern teams will go out west, or one weekend most of the Western teams will come out east. It's kind of just that large. It kind of goes back to maybe some of the old days where we didn't have those conferences. You didn't have single A, double A, or anything like that in some of these classes, in a sense. Mostly that's like football, volleyball, and all that too. But
yeah, it means more travel, more weekends, and you want to capitalize on those, especially when you're a team like either West Fargo, who's on one edge of the state, or Williston, that's on the other. You definitely want to capitalize on it if you can, just even for the morale boost.
Lee tries to go in on a rush there. Doesn't get anywhere as that one's stripped away by Van Dam, as she'll take it up ice now.
Kind of just a little back and forth the last few minutes. Not a lot of whistles, not a lot of shots. Both teams just kind of playing around the neutral zone or high defensive zone.
This one finds Lee. Lee coming in once again on a charge. Didi will go the opposite direction, as Matthias comes in to the offensive zone now, and just a little tangle up there, down low and short on the near side, as this one is once more down in the corner for a board battle, as we get a couple of tires blown down low there. So this one gets to Tesoro. Tesoro finds Corona. Corona with a clapper just goes off the blocker of Hokum. As Spanier now, and we get a little tangle up there down on that far side between Bentz and, I believe, Corona. This one's intercepted there by Williamson. Williamson finds Hassler. Hassler with the shot. Goes off the chest of Fuchs. Williamson with another shot attempt goes just wide. As we're down to the final minute here in the third period, as Spanier will look towards Stalker. Stalker will head up ice now.
Oh, just a little behind her there.
Look towards Hassler, as Stalker will once more look towards Hassler out front, and that one's deflected away there. This one will find Josephson on that high side. She dumps back in. As we'll just... Trosen goes in on a charge, finds Vedder on the far side. Tip goes just wide.
Couldn't quite control that pass.
So that one will be covered up and blown dead.
Puck was just bouncing a little bit, and just she had about a third of the net just staring at her. But yeah, we've seen a very different United team these last two periods, not only from the first period, but even just from the last couple games that we've streamed. Better in every aspect, better defensively, better offensively, cleaner, making better passes, better transitions. They just look like a very different team. It took them a little bit to get going tonight, or today, I guess. But overall, great job. And, hey, Hokum walks away with the shutout. That's got to feel great.
Most definitely. So, going into this one, Williston probably not feeling the greatest right now as, once more, I don't believe they have a game tomorrow, so I don't think if I had to guess if they, oh my goodness. If they don't have a game tomorrow, if I had to guess, they wouldn't be staying tonight, so they got a long drive home. Probably not getting home till about that 11 o'clock area with it being almost 4 right now as they come down or they come over and take what could be considered some pretty harsh beatings as one game was 5-0, the other was 6-1. Great job by Fuchs tonight, though, taking 42 shots on net. I get that's a lot for a girls' high school game especially.
Yeah, she did really well.
Seeing that, and great job by United, too, though, on the other hand. Coming off of last night, I believe Emmeline said they had about 12, 11 shots, if I remember right.
And I think United just broke a 4 or 5 game losing streak, too. So
yeah.
Kudos to them for that.
So that's always, the best side of it is, United comes out on top with a win, breaks the losing streak, and perhaps jumps up in the standings.
Well, to see
Williston was below them, so I don't believe there was any games going on today, too, when I looked, or as of right now. But, yeah, we'll kind of just see how it plays out in the standings from here. So, got anything else to add, Salmon?
No, good performance by United. It was nice to see them playing at a level that I feel like the rest of us knew they were at. Kudos for Williston for coming all out. Goaltender played well. Hopefully have a safe trip home. And, now that United needs to build off this.
All right, so that about wraps up this broadcast. So for Bo Beam and Mr. Thomas, I'm Tristan Maroc.
And I'm Dustin Salmon.
Good night, folks.
Thank you.